Hello and welcome to your final science lesson for the week, and today we're thinking about environmental changes. So living things depend upon their habitats to give them everything they need, including water, food, air and space to grow, which we learned about yesterday. But humans are very special because we can change the environment that we live in a very big way. Can you remember which ways humans are able to change their environment? Pause this video. Do you remember we could change things because we can build houses, we can build roads, we can farm animals and farm food, so we can change the environment to suit us. And some species of animals are very good at also adapting to their habitat. So here are some some species that have been able to change, to adapt to their changing environment in a good way so they can survive. So for example, foxes, you can quite often find foxes living in towns and cities because they've managed to be able to scavenge for food instead of living in the woods and hunting food for themselves. Pigeons, which are in lots and lots of towns and cities, and they will kind of scavenge for food, won't they? They'll pick up bits of sandwich that has been dropped on the floor, and things like that. Some weeds, so like dandelions, they can grow through cracks in pavements. You can find they'll happen to grow anywhere. Spiders, they live in our houses. Rabbits, they can be our pets as well as be wild animals. Butterflies are very good at adapting to changing environments, and they can live in towns and cities as well, as long as they've got some flowers that they can use for food. However, there are some plants and animals that cannot adapt to their environment. So particularly animals that live in the rainforest or marshland or desert, for example, these cactuses, they find it very difficult to survive if their habitat changes. But habitats can change for lots of different reasons, and some of these changes can be natural. So I've got some pictures here. What kind of natural events would cause changes to habitats? So have a look at my pictures here. And what effect could these how could these affect the plants and animals that live there? Have a look at these pictures. So what changes could they make to the habitat, and how might these affect the plants and animals? So we've got a volcano, we've got what looks like it's going to be a tornado, or a hurricane. We've got flooding, and we've also got drought where there's no water. So even though there are lots of changes to habitats caused by natural events, humans also cause big changes to animals and plants' environments. So what kind of environmental changes can you think of that are caused by us? And how could these affect living things? You can use the pictures to help you. Pause this video now. So you can see that we've got deforestation here. So we've got cutting down trees to either use the wood or use the land. This is a quarry, so we're digging down into the ground. Here we've got littering, and here we've got a big city, that's London there. So we're building big towns and cities. So these would affect animals and plants because we're taking away their homes, aren't we? And these actions caused by humans can often lead to endangered species. Now I've got some endangered species here whose homes are being destroyed or their environments are being changed, so they're finding it really difficult to live there. So for example, the polar bear, who lives on the ice, but as the ice caps are melting, they're finding it really hard to hunt for food because that's how they have to use the ice to hunt. Gorilla. Now, there's lots of gorillas all around the world who are endangered, lots of different species of gorilla, and that's because their homes are being destroyed because of deforestation, us cutting down trees. Turtles and tigers and pandas all are also endangered, and that's either due to their homes being destroyed or littering or us using their land. So all of these animals are endangered, and if they become extinct, that means that there are no animals left. So, for example, if the ice caps keep melting and the polar bears can't hunt for food and we don't change it, then they might become extinct, which means there are none left and they can't come back, which would be really sad. Okay, you're going to write a report now on an endangered species. So I'm going to show you this website. Okay, so once you've typed in the website address, then you should reach this page. There's a little bit of information about what endangered animals are, and then you've got some animals here that you can click on and learn about. So I'm going to pick the orangutan. So there we go, we've got a little bit of information about why the orangutans are endangered and their habitats, and you can click on them further and then you can learn a bit more about the orangutan. Once you've entered the website, pick an animal, and I'd like you to write some notes on your animal so that you can answer these questions and create a report. So you need to make sure you know the name of your endangered animal, what habitat the animal lives in, why is the animal endangered, and what can be done to help the species. So might want to use some other websites as well to help you. Pause this video now, complete your report, and then press play when you're ready. So now we've thought about endangered animals all around the world, but now we're going to have a think about wildlife in our back garden, in our community. I don't know if you've heard of this, but the RSPB do a big garden bird watch each year, which is where families, children and adults can spot birds outside their homes, and they record how many birds they see of each different species, and then all the results are put together, and then the RSPB can record and see how many birds are in England. So it might be that they can see that certain birds, their numbers are falling, so there aren't as many of them, or some birds that there are more of. So let's have a quick look and see the results of last year's Big Garden Birdwatch.
Garden Birdwatch results 2020. Dapper in black and white, it's the magpie in 10th place. Flying in at number 9, a new entry for the long-tailed tit. A favourite in the garden, the robin is in 8th place. Coming 7th for another year, it's the great tit. In 6th place, that colourful charmer, the goldfinch. Hopping down 1 place to 5th, it's the blackbird. Moving up 1 spot, the wood pigeon takes 4th place. Dashing into the top 3, the blue tit is in 3rd place. One of our noisiest songbirds in 2nd place, it's the starling. But in 1st place, for the 17th year running, it's the house sparrow. Thank you for watching. Until next year.
So there's lots of birds that you can see in your gardens or around your homes, but you might have noticed that some numbers were falling, they weren't going up. So for example, the sparrow, starling, blackbird and robin, all their numbers are falling, which is really sad, and it makes us think, what is it in our habitats, in our environments, our communities, that is not helping these birds, and is there something that we can do about it? So one way that we can help the birds so that their numbers start to grow again is to make a bird feeder. I'm going to show you how you can use this website down here to choose a different way of making a bird feeder for you to do at home. Let me show you the website. So once you've typed in the link, you should come to this page. Now, if you scroll down, you'll see that there are a few different ways that you could make a bird feeder using things in your house or things you can find outside. So the first thing you could do is you could make an apple bird feeder. So there's the instructions of how to make that one, or a pine cone feeder. So it explains what you might need and how to do it. You can make a fruit hoop. So it tells you what you need and how to make it. Remember that you will need to ask an adult to help you with part of this. So it might be something you need to wait to do. So what I'd like you to do is to pick a different bird feeder to make and have a go. Once you've made your bird feeder, you can then hang it somewhere. So when you go for your daily walk, you might want to find somewhere like a tree or something to hang it up, or maybe if you have a garden, you could hang it there as well. If you hang it in your garden, sometimes it can take a while for the birds to find the bird feeder, but then after a while you should see lots of birds coming to your garden, and you'll know that you'll be doing a great thing by helping your local birds. Well done today, and I'll see you next week.